is the key to becoming, a full-time musician? Is it just consistency? Just staying doing it? Because is it can anyone become a full-time musician as long as they do it, or is there something else that is it? Do you have more skill maybe than someone else? Do you have more love than someone else, or is it just that you stuck with it longer than someone else? Is that what it is that separates you from other people?
Well, look, if you're a terrible player, you're going to be a terrible player for a long time unless you study a lot. So of course there is talent involved. I mean, you know, it is a skill. So you need to accomplish that skill. Um, and there is a little bit of a phenomenon now. It's in the Bay Area quite a bit, but also in other places, which is what I call uh, instant salsa band. Just add water,
Mm. What
so
you mean by that?
yeah, exactly. Because there are people who wanted to do this professionally, but of course I have to confess to you that I don't have kids. I had two marriages and very happy marriages, but they came to an end. And so I don't have a family. So when you have other responsibilities involving, of course, you're going to raise up a question mark because, of course, you're a responsible parent. So my situation was different in that sense. But what I want to say to you is like maybe you spend a whole life doing another job, and then you're semi-retired, and then you say, okay, now I'm going to accomplish my goal, something that I really dreamt of. But the skills are not really up to par. But you just pick up a few, you know,
Mm.
you pick up a few classes, and you get as good as you can. You get in the internet now, you buy charts for music, etc. You tell your buddy who sings a little bit, boom, boom, boom. All of a sudden you're in front of a screen, you take a nice shot, and you got a salsa band.
Fair enough.
And so before I fall in the trap of sounding like I'm exercising criticism on people who are not professional, uh, I just want to say that I think that is a part of what is necessary, and it's a part of what it breeds the love for this music. So my comment is not intended to criticize those who pursue their dreams, but what it does create is a breeding ground for people who go out there because all of a sudden they want to gig. I managed to do this and I want to gig. So I'm going to go there, and I'm gonna say it in one sentence. I'm gonna keep the prices in 1978 prices because I'm gonna go out there with a
Okay.
machete, cutting axes and saying, "Yeah, I work for any money."
Yeah.
And in a breeding ground that is like that, it makes a market favorable to the promoters or the club owners
The
that
cheapest person,
they have
right?
they have their own interest.
Right.
So what I'm trying to come to is that the difference in between some cities in the United States and what it is in general in the Caribbean, especially in Cuba, where I went 7 times, met 7 times, and I also met in Puerto Rico and other countries, is that there is somewhat of a quality control, and the quality control comes from the audience. If you don't kick butt and you don't sing in tune or this or that, they're gonna
Right.
boo you. They're gonna throw shoes at you.
Right. So is that what you're saying is like the cream rises to the top, the truly great artists will be known and will stay in the scene, right?
Yes. Uh, so I guess your question was,
I mean, you answered. That was fine. You answered. Yeah, I understand, man. There is talent level, definitely, of course.
there is talent level that is needed. You need to have the basic. There is talent level. There needs to be and and being a band leader is 10 times more of a labor of love because you know bands are formed of human beings which have personalities, and then
Yeah.
once you are in that, you need to be handling that, and you need to find that balance in between. Um, treating your musicians with great respect as an adults, but at the same time, they are like your kids. You want to give them the best meal
Right.
and the best gig.
Right.
Uh, you start catering. and juggling balls with the ones that have talent but they're never available, and the ones who
Ah.
don't have talent but they're willing to play with you all the time. And so it's it's tough, man.
I
It's not
believe it.
easy.
Because it's like you're the band leader, so all the problems come to you, right? Or what?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you're a responsible band leader, now there are cooperative bands. There are bands that work in a
Okay.
different way.
All
Sometimes
right.
three people are the band leaders, and there is more to spread. Um, I went through that experience, in frankly, in my opinion, I think it may work for the Rolling Stones because millionaires, and they used to go to therapy together, and I'm sure they have their share of problems because, and I at this point of my life, I have a lot of acquaintances in the music business in the Bay Area who work with me, but I don't necessarily consider them my friends. They
Mm.
are good professional musicians who I respect a lot, and they come and they play with me, and I play with them, and we share a very professional work relationship. But it doesn't necessarily means that they're my buddies, and I'm gonna cross that bridge and request from them maybe to do things for me that I don't consider that they are respectful professionally, whether it's financially or musically or artistically, etc. So when you're a professional, you are gonna demand that from your musicians. The basics: show up in time, put the set list together, don't try to pick up on the sister of the bride of the wedding. You know, all the, you
But
know,
it's like being professional, though. Being professional with it, right?
correct, correct. But believe me, I mean, there are
I believe
amazing
it.
fun stuff. I wouldn't change my life for any life. I'm living my dream. I,
Hey,
I
man, that's
can say
awesome.
that. And that's what I try to tell the students that come with an innocent, open mind. You know what? A lot of students that come to me to take conga lessons, they said to me, Edgardo, what is the best advice that you can give me for a conga player to make a living and become a professional? And you know what I tell them? I tell them
Please tell me.
learn how to sing.
Oh, okay.
I, because if you play and you can sing a chorus or refrain and be in tune, you're gonna be doing the job of two people, and the band leader is gonna look
Yeah.
like that, and it's gonna say,
Right.
"Oh, this guy can sing coro. Let's hire him."
Yeah. So yeah, being multifaceted, being multi-talented, right?
Correct. And branch out. You play with a pop band, you play with a reggae band, you play with this, you play with that. You cannot be in a cocoon and saying,
Right.